Welcome back for another deep dive. This time, we're going to be looking at humanoid robots. This field is just booming right now. And we're going to check out some of the most awesome robots out there.
Yeah, it seems like every day there's a new breakthrough. I mean, even just the sheer variety is incredible. You've got robots designed for speed, others for dexterity, some that are even trying to mimic human emotion.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I
Yeah.
mean, there's so much variety in the approaches, too. Like, some companies are really focused on making robots that move just like us. And then you have others that are, like, pushing the boundaries of AI so they can interact with us, on a whole new level.
It's amazing to think how far we've come in such a short time.
It really is. So where do we even begin with all this?
Well, how about we start with the robots that are like changing how robots walk? Like Engine AI, they've made a walking gait that looks so natural. It's almost like watching a person walk.
Yeah, I saw that video. It's pretty impressive. I mean, how do they even achieve that level of fluidity?
So they use this simulated environment called Nvidia's Isaac Gym. They basically train their robots virtually, so the robots can practice walking millions of times in this virtual space. And then they take what they've learned and apply it to the real world.
That's pretty cool, like a robot boot camp for walking.
Yeah,
And it seems to be working. I mean, their robots move with such grace and precision.
absolutely. And they actually have like 3 different robots in development right now.
Oh, wow. 3?
Yeah. So their SA1, that one's mostly legs and torso, designed for research and industrial use.
Okay.
Then there's the SA1 Pro. This one, they say, is the most human-like in how it looks and moves.
And the third one.
The S2, they just call it a droid.
Yeah.
So we'll have to wait and see what that looks like.
Droid, huh? That's intriguing. I mean, I can already imagine these robots like working alongside us in all sorts of places. And it sounds like Engine AI has some pretty ambitious plans. They want to integrate their robots into like everyday life.
Yeah.
And they're aiming to mass produce their SE01 model by 2025.
Yeah, that's a pretty aggressive timeline, but the demand for humanoid robots is exploding.
Yes, nothing too.
And speaking of ambition, there's another company, Clone Robotics, and they're on a mission to create, get this, synthetic humans. Basically, robots that look and function just like us.
Synthetic humans. That
Yeah.
sounds like something straight out of science fiction. How are they even trying to make that happen?
Well, they're focusing on recreating the human body, like down to the smallest detail. So their torso robot, that's a great example. It actually mimics the human musculoskeletal system.
Sure.
So you've got movable elbows, a shoulder structure, even a neck that moves just like ours.
Wow.
They use hydraulics and what are called open loop control commands to like really simulate the strength and flexibility of human muscles.
So they're not just copying how our muscles look, but how they actually work.
Exactly. And their attention to detail is amazing. Like their robotic hand has 27 degrees of freedom.
Okay, I'll be honest. I have no idea what that means. What exactly does having 27 degrees of freedom mean?
Okay, so think of it like this. Each degree of freedom is basically a way the hand can move independently. So 27 degrees of freedom means that Clone Robotics' hand can manipulate objects with,
Yeah.
with incredible precision, almost like a human hand.
That's incredible. I mean, that opens up so many possibilities for like tasks that require a delicate touch.
Right. And their goal is to create robots that can handle everyday challenges. Like anything from chores to really complex tasks. They even have plans to use this tech to create synthetic animals and like large-scale androids.
Wow, that's mind-blowing. It's amazing to see these companies taking such different approaches. I mean, from like lifelike movement to intricate dexterity, it seems like the possibilities are endless.
Mhm.
But what about robots that are designed for like really getting things done in industrial settings?
Well, that's where a company called Figure AI comes in. Their Figure O2 robot that's built for autonomous tasks, especially in industries like manufacturing and logistics.
Okay, so what makes this robot stand out?
So Figure O2, it has this sleek human-like design. And its hands, they have 16 degrees of freedom, so it can handle some pretty complex tasks. Plus, it's powered by some seriously impressive AI.
Oh, so it's not just about looks, it has the brains to back it up.
Exactly. They're using NVIDIA's Omniverse and GPU technologies,
Yeah.
so its AI capabilities are top-notch.
Got it.
And they've even teamed up with OpenAI to develop, like, custom AI models that enhance the robot's conversational abilities.
Interesting.
It's actually already being tested in real-world settings, successfully handling tasks on BMW's production line.
Oh, wow, so it's already out there in the field.
Yeah. And Figure AI, their vision is, like, They want to use their robots to tackle labor shortages
Right.
and boost productivity across a bunch of industries like
Yeah.
manufacturing, logistics, warehousing, retail.
Makes sense. I mean, those are industries that could really benefit from automation. It seems like every company is pushing the limits of what's possible with these robots.
Mm-hmm.
But what about robots that are designed to not just work for us,
Yeah.
but to interact with us on a deeper level?
Well, there's Fourier Intelligence. They're working on the GR2 robot. And this robot, it's all about enhancing human-robot interaction.
Okay, so what makes the GR2 different?
It's emotional intelligence. This robot's designed to, like, detect and respond to human emotions through facial expressions and voice tones.
Wow, a robot that can sense how you're feeling? That's pretty incredible. I mean, that could change everything about how we interact with robots.
Right. And on top of that, GR2 has this awesome 360-degree vision system, so it can identify objects in real time, navigate safely, even in like complicated environments.
It sounds like this robot could have so many applications. I mean, what kind of settings do they see it being used in?
Well, they see a ton of potential for GR2, like helping with chores at home, caring for the elderly, even working in medical and rehab settings. And because it's so adaptable, it could even work in industrial environments.
So it's versatile and emotionally intelligent. That's pretty impressive. It seems like all the robots we've talked about so far have been designed for a specific purpose, whether it's, walking or dexterity or industrial tasks. But what about robots designed to fit into our homes seamlessly?
Well, 1X Technologies is working on that with their 1X Neo robot. This one's all about blending into your home life.
Okay, what makes it so well suited for a home environment?
First off, 1X Neo has 5-fingered hands, so it can handle delicate tasks. And its movements are smooth and safe. They use actuators that actually mimic human
Oh,
muscles.
interesting.
And it's designed with what they call embodied learning. So it combines robotics with AI to constantly learn and improve its skills.
No, so like a robot butler that keeps getting better at its job.
Exactly. And they've really thought about safety. 1X Neo has a lightweight and agile build, soft and compliant construction, padded areas, to prevent any bumps or bruises.
That makes sense, especially if you have kids or pets at home.
Yeah. 1X Neo is still in beta testing, but it's supposed to be commercially available within a few years.
Can't wait to see that.
Now, while we're on the topic of robots entering the real world, we got to talk about Boston Dynamics. They're known for their advanced robots, and they just unveiled a new version of their Atlas robot. This one is fully electric.
Electric Atlas. That's a big change from their hydraulic models.
It is. It's lighter, more compact, and quieter, too.
I bet. But I'm guessing they didn't sacrifice power or agility.
Oh, absolutely not. The electric Atlas can move its limbs, torso, and head a full 360 degrees. Super dynamic movement.
Wow, they really stepped it up with this new version.
They did. It's not just agility, though. Electric Atlas is packed with advanced control systems, LiDAR, stereo vision. It can perceive and navigate like really complex environments with incredible precision.
So where do they see the electric Atlas being used?
They're thinking industrial settings, especially automotive manufacturing. They've actually partnered with Hyundai, their parent company, to explore its potential in their factories.
So we're seeing a real push toward robots working alongside humans in all sorts of industries. But what about robots designed for, like, pure speed and precision?
Well, there's Stardust Intelligence. They've got this robot, Astrobot S1. It's turning heads with its speed and dexterity.
Okay, how fast are we talking?
This thing can move at 10 meters per second, and it can carry 10 kilograms per arm. So, plenty of strength and speed to be a real game changer in industries that need efficiency and precision.
Yeah, those are some impressive stats. What about the AI behind it?
So Astrobot S1 is powered by a large language model.
Huh.
It's been trained on massive amounts of text data, so it can understand and interact with its environment in a, very sophisticated way.
So it can understand complex instructions and adapt to different situations.
Yes. And it can perform intricate tasks like super precisely, like cooking, folding clothes. It can even learn by mimicking human actions.
Wow, that's wild. So when will we actually see this robot in action?
Well, the exciting part is Astrobot S1 is expected to be commercially available in 2024.
So very soon. We could be seeing these robots out in the world next year. It feels like we've already covered so much ground.
We have, but there's so much more to talk about in this, rapidly changing world of humanoid robots.
I can't wait to hear more. But for now, we're going to wrap up part 1 of our deep dive.
Yeah, stay tuned for part 2. We'll be diving into robots designed for both, professional and personal tasks.
It's going to be fascinating.
Welcome back to our deep dive into humanoid robots. So we've seen robots that are like redefining movement and dexterity, but now let's look at robots that are designed to be, really versatile, handling tasks in both professional and personal settings.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy to think about that we can have robots helping us out with everything. From complex industrial jobs to like everyday chores around the house. One robot that seems to be aiming for that is the 4NE1, developed by Neuro Robotics.
Ah, yes, the 4-in-1. That's a great example of a robot that's designed to be a true all-rounder. It's, human-like in form and size, which makes it adaptable to a lot of different environments.
So it's not a specialized robot like some of the others we've talked about.
Exactly. Neurorobotics sees it as a robot that can like seamlessly transition between different roles. And what's really impressive is its cognitive abilities. This robot can recognize objects and gestures, adapt to different tasks, and it even understands voice and gesture commands.
That sounds incredibly intuitive to interact with.
It is, and it operates on the Neura AI API, which allows it to, recognize voices and emotions in multiple languages.
So they're really focusing on creating a more natural interaction
Yeah,
between humans and robots.
exactly.
It's amazing how far AI has come in such a short amount of time. But with robots becoming more intelligent and capable, safety has to be a top priority, right?
Oh, absolutely. And Neurorobotics has built a lot of safety features into the 4NE1. Like, for instance, it has a touchless human detection sensor to prevent any, accidents. And it has exchangeable forearms, so you can actually customize its capabilities depending on the task at hand.
So it's adaptable and safe. What are some of the potential applications they're looking at for a robot like this?
While the possibilities are pretty vast, they envision the 4NE1 being used in healthcare, education, emergency response, even space exploration.
Wow, that's quite a range. From helping doctors and teachers to assisting astronauts, it's like science fiction is becoming reality.
It really is.
Yeah.
And speaking of pushing the boundaries of robotics, we can't forget about Tesla and their Tesla bot, also known as Optimus. Their Gen 2 model is making waves with some pretty impressive upgrades.
Yeah, Tesla seems to be all in on humanoid robots.
Yeah.
What are some of the key improvements they've made with this new generation?
So first of all, they've made Optimus lighter, faster, and more agile. The Gen 2 model is 10 kilograms lighter than the previous one, and it can move 30% faster. They've also significantly improved its balance and full body control.
So it's more nimble,
Hmm.
and it can handle, more complex environment.
Exactly. And, they haven't overlooked dexterity either. They've upgraded Optimus's hands, giving them 11 degrees of freedom for, even more precise manipulation.
It sounds like they're really refining the design and capabilities with each generation. Where does Tesla see Optimus fitting into the world?
Their vision for Optimus is to have it working in, industrial settings, focusing on tasks that require precision and safety. And Elon Musk has even said that he believes Optimus could have a bigger impact on Tesla's market value than their entire automotive business.
Wow, that's a pretty bold statement. Shows how much potential they see in this technology. Are there any further advancements planned?
Oh, yeah, they're already working on a Gen 3 model. Rumor has it that it'll have a totally new design, even lighter materials and even faster movements. There's also talk of adding speakers and a voice system, which would, make it even more versatile.
So the future of Optimus is full of exciting possibilities. We've discussed robots designed for very specific tasks, and robots designed to be these like versatile all-rounders. But what about a robot that's not technically a humanoid, but it's so advanced in its capabilities that we have to talk about it?
You're talking about Weave Robotics Isaac.
Exactly. It's not built like a human,
Mm.
but it can handle a ton of tasks, especially around the house.
Yeah, Isaac is a really interesting example of a robot that specializes in home automation. Think of it like a personal assistant that can take care of all those, everyday chores you'd rather not do.
So like a robot butler, what kind of tasks can Isaac handle?
I'm talking about everything from tidying up and organizing to doing laundry, taking care of pets, even tending to plants.
Wow, that's pretty comprehensive. How do you even control it?
It's designed to be super user-friendly. You can control it through voice commands, text inputs, or through their app. And if there's a task that's a bit too complex for Isaac to handle on its own, you can use their remote op feature. So basically, a Weave specialist can remotely operate Isaac and complete the task.
Oh, so they have a human in the loop for those trickier situations.
Exactly.
That's smart.
Yeah.
What about privacy? Seems like a robot that's constantly in your home would need to be very mindful of that.
Absolutely. And Weave Robotics has made privacy and security a top priority. So the camera and microphone are inactive when not in use. And all the data processing happens locally on Isaac, meaning your data isn't being sent to like some external server.
That's good to hear. It sounds like Isaac is a pretty high-end product, though, both in terms of capabilities and price.
Yeah, it's currently priced at $59,000, or you can do their payment plan. And they're starting with limited availability, so not everyone's going to be able to get their hands on one right away.
Makes sense. It seems like the world of humanoid robots is incredibly diverse. I mean, we've seen robots designed for research, for industry, for personal assistance, and now even home automation.
It really is, and it's a testament to just how fast this field is innovating, and it's only going to get more exciting as these robots become even more sophisticated and integrated into our lives.
Ah, well, that wraps up part 2 of our deep dive into humanoid robots.
Join us for part 3, where we'll step into the realm of speculation and explore the potential for these robots to become true companions, collaborators, and even extensions of ourselves.
Welcome back to the final part of our deep dive into humanoid robots. You've seen some incredible things, right? Robots that can walk like us, robots for complex tasks, even robots that are getting pretty good at understanding our emotions.
Yeah, it's been wild. And now in this last part, we're going to kind of shift gears a little bit. We're going to step into the realm of, well, speculation. What does the future hold for these humanoid robots? Could they become like more than just machines?
Okay, I'm intrigued. So what are we thinking? Companions, collaborators.
Maybe even extensions of ourselves.
Whoa, now we're getting into some real science fiction territory.
Right. But the lines are getting blurry, you know? One thing that people are really starting to think about is like robot consciousness.
Robot consciousness.
Yeah. Or even sentience.
Okay, so robots that can actually think for themselves, have feelings, maybe even their own personalities.
That's the idea.
That's pretty mind-blowing. I mean, is that even possible to create a machine that can truly feel or think?
Well, that's the big question, isn't it? I mean, first we need to figure out what consciousness even is.
True.
And then how do you recreate that in a machine? Some people think that consciousness is like an emergent property, so it comes from the interactions of lots of simpler parts.
Interesting.
So maybe if we build a robot with enough complexity, consciousness could just like emerge.
Like, it's not just about building a powerful computer brain. It's about creating the right environment for consciousness to develop.
That's one theory, yeah. And, you know, some futurists believe that as AI keeps getting more advanced, we will eventually hit a point where machines are just as smart as us, or even smarter.
Wow, that's a little scary, honestly, to think that robots could be more intelligent than humans.
Yeah, it's both exciting and kind of intimidating, right?
But think about the potential. Robots partnering with scientists, composing music, helping us solve global problems.
I mean, that would be incredible. But it also raises some serious ethical questions, right? Like, if robots are conscious, what rights do they have? Are they a new form of life? How do we treat them ethically?
Yeah, those are all important questions, and ones that we need to start thinking about now. Because if we create robots that can experience the world like we do, we have a responsibility to treat them with respect.
Right, it's like a whole new chapter in ethics.
And then there's the idea of like merging humans and robots, creating these hybrid beings that combine the best of both worlds.
Cyborgs.
Yeah, kind of. Imagine like robotic prosthetics that are seamlessly integrated with the human nervous system. So you could control a robotic arm with your thoughts.
Exactly. Or maybe even enhance your abilities, like superhuman strength or super senses.
That would be wild.
Or what about brain-computer interfaces, where you control robots with your mind?
Whoa.
Or even downloading your consciousness into a robot body.
Digital immortality.
It's crazy to think about, right?
It really makes you wonder what it means to be human.
Absolutely. These are the kinds of questions that philosophers, ethicists, scientists are all wrestling with. And as this technology develops, we're going to have some serious discussions about it.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much potential with humanoid robots.
Yeah.
But there are also risks. We have to make sure we're using this technology for good.
Absolutely. Human well-being has to be at the center of all of this.
Well, that brings us to the end of our deep dives into humanoid robots. I don't know about you, but my mind is officially blown.
Mine too. It's been an amazing journey exploring all of this, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, absolutely. From
Yeah.
the robots that are already changing the world to the robots that could shape our future.
And we want to hear from you. What surprised you the most during this deep dive? What are you most excited about? And what concerns do you have?
Join the conversation and let us know your thoughts. The future of humanoid robots is still being written, and we're all part of writing it. Thanks for joining us on this incredible journey. We'll be back soon with another deep dive into a fascinating topic. Until then, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep learning.